It began with a single scratch at the door, like fingernails begging to come in from the cold. But it was summer, and I lived alone. I'm Riley, 27, a self-proclaimed adventurer with a love for the wild side of life. Growing up in a small town in Oregon, I spent my childhood scaling rocks, building forts in the woods, and avoiding anything that screamed girly. Dolls? Never touched one. Makeup? Only for Halloween costumes. After college, I landed a remote job as a wildlife photographer, which let me buy a cozy A-frame cabin deep in the pine forests of the Cascade Mountains. It was my dream, isolated, with a wraparound porch, a loft bedroom, and nothing but nature for miles. No neighbors, no drama, just me, my camera, and the occasional elk sighting. The cabin was a steal, thanks to some inheritance from my grandparents. I'd fixed it up myself. New lops, solar panels for power, even a small generator for backups. Cell service was spotty, but I had a landline for emergencies. After ending a toxic relationship 6 months ago, my ex was controlling, always pushing boundaries. I swore off dating. But isolation has a way of wearing you down. One rainy evening, scrolling social media, I caved and reinstalled a dating app. Casual hikes or coffee, I said as my bio. Nothing serious. That's when I matched with Ethan. His profile was perfect. 29, outdoorsy, with pics of him backpacking through national parks. Freelance writer, nomad at heart, he wrote. We chatted about trails, shared stories of near misses with wildlife. He seemed chill, no pressure. After a week, he suggested meeting at a trailhead cafe in the nearest town, about 20 miles away. Public spot, my choice, safety first. The cafe was bustling with hikers and locals. Ethan showed up on time, wearing hiking boots and a flannel shirt, carrying a thermos of coffee. Thought we'd need fuel, he said with a grin. We talked for 2 hours. He was new to the area, crashing with friends while freelancing articles on adventure travel. No routes, just exploring, he explained. I shared a bit about my cabin, how it was my escape. When it ended, he offered a ride home. Nah, I drove, I said. He nodded, no pushback. 3 days later, another meetup, a short loop trail. He packed snacks. We laughed about city slickers getting lost in the woods. Midway, his phone buzzed. He stepped off the path, murmuring, "Yeah, might stay out late. Don't worry." I figured roommate stuff. Back on trail, he asked again, "Sure you don't want a lift? Gets dark quick." The sun was dipping, so I agreed. In his truck, an older pickup with gear in the back, he punched in my address from my directions. The drive was scenic, pines whipping by. At the cabin, he idled. "Looks peaceful. Quick tour?" I declined politely. Rain check. He smiled, drove off, but I noticed his truck lingering at the forest edge before turning. Next morning, text. Spontaneous picnic? Be there at noon. Bold, but intriguing. He arrived with a basket. Sandwiches, fruit, even a bottle of wine. We drove to a hidden meadow I'd mentioned. Ate under the sun. Talked dreams. He leaned in for a kiss. I dodged. "Keeping it light," I said. His jaw tightened briefly, then relaxed. Fair enough. On the return, I nodded off from the wine. Woke to him saying, "Grab a glass at your place to finish." I shook my head. He gripped the wheel harder. "Why so guarded, Riley? Got secrets?" Silence filled the cab. He dropped me, but his truck sat across the road for 40 minutes. I watched from the window. A week of quiet. Then, miss our chats. Dinner tonight? Found a spot with killer views. I hesitated but agreed, meeting him there. He insisted on picking me up. At 6 p.m., he was at my door, not in the truck. Show me inside first. Curious about your setup. Uneasy, I said, after food. At the bistro, overlooking a lake, his phone rang. He answered at the table. Could crash with you later. To me, am I staying over? Shocked, I said, no. The caller snapped. Get your crap out, Ethan. I'm done. He hung up, face flushing. Ex-roommate issues. Dinner turned awkward. He complained about the prices, though I paid my share. In the truck, I spotted a backpack in the back. Clothes spilling out, toiletries, a rolled blanket. Travel gear? I asked. He exploded. You think you're better, huh? Living in your perfect cabin. Parents probably bankrolled it. I've got no place. Friends kicked me out. Just let me crash one night. Terror surged. Homeless? Manipulating dates for shelter. I stayed calm. Drop me. This is done. At the cabin, he yelled, ungrateful. After all the drives? I slammed the door, bolted it, called a friend in town. Blocked him. Relief washed over, but paranoia lingered. Was he watching? I installed motion lights, checked windows nightly. Then the noises started. First night post-block, a soft giggle outside the loft window. High-pitched, feminine, like a girl playing hide-and-seek. I sat up, heart thumping. Wind, owls, peered out, nothing but dark pines. The river gurgled below the hill. I dismissed it, blamed stress. Next day, photographing birds, I found odd marks near the cabin, scratches on the porch rail, like claws or knives. Animal? Evening brought tapping, rhythmic on the side wall, then scraping, slow and deliberate. Flashlight in hand, I stepped out. Footprints, small boots, circling the foundation. Not Ethan's size. Gut sinking, I drove to town, bought a trail cam and a handgun. For bears, I told the clerk. Set up the cam facing the porch. 2 nights later, storm rolled in, thunder shaking the cabin. Giggle returned, closer from under the porch. Then a whisper, Riley, open up. Female voice, teasing. I grabbed the gun, yelled, Who's there? I have a weapon. Laughter faded into rain. Morning, trail cam footage. Blurry, but a figure, hooded, slim, crouching by the door, giggling. Woman? Not Ethan. Reported to the local ranger station. Probably teens pranking, the officer said. We'll check. But the cabin was off-grid. Help slow. That afternoon, mail in the box. A note. We could be roommates. Miss me? Loopy handwriting. Feminine. Ethan had a partner? Twist nodded my thoughts. Night fell. Banging on the door. Help! Injured hiker. Woman's voice, desperate. Gun ready. I cracked it. She tumbled in. Early 20s, rain-soaked, blonde ponytail, jeans torn. Thanks. Name's Lena. Twisted ankle on the trail. Locked door. Offered a towel. She limped to the couch, warming by the fire I'd lit. Live here alone? Brave. Her story, hiking solo, slipped in mud. But trails were distant, and her ankle seemed fine as she shifted. Phone buzzed. Hers. Inside now, warm and dry. Hung up, smiled creepily. Buddy checking. Noticed her nails chipped, polish matching scratches outside. Bulge in pocket, phone or something sharp. Excuse to kitchen, grabbed gun. Returned, empty couch. Door wide, rain blowing in, footprints led to woods. Called ranger. Woman invaded, vanished. Provost patrol. Sleepless. Dawn revealed horror. Crawl space hatch, under porch ajar. Never used it, storage for tools. Crawled in with light, sleeping pad, wrappers, women's clothes. Someone's squatty. Packed bag. Fled to town motel. Searched online. Local home invasions. Article. Duo targets remote cabins, man poses as date, woman infiltrates. Photos, Ethan and Lena. Modus, he scouts via apps, she hides in structures, they team for takeover. Victims robbed, some assaulted. Last spotted nearby. Alerted authorities with link. Investigating, they said. Motel night, phone rang. Cabin feels empty without you. Ethan's voice. Lena's keeping it warm. Drove back at dawn, retrieve valuables. Then bolt, cabin silent. Inside, crawl space empty. But note, know your schedule. Home sweet home. Giggle outside, scraping on roof. Up top, Lena's voice. Ran out, gun raised. Ethan stepped from trees. Just talk, we need shelter. Lena leaped down, agile. He's harmless, let us stay. They charged, I fired into air. They fled. Rangers arrived, anonymous tip. Found them in woods with my stolen camera. Confessed, Ethan lured, Lena hid, planning full invasion. Sold cabin, moved coasts, but in quiet nights, scratches echo. I always check crawl spaces.